Umar ibn al-Khattab did not cling to power. As life faded, he thought not of revenge, but of succession. He refused to appoint a ruler, and he refused to leave the Ummah without guidance. Instead, he placed the future in the hands of men who would have to choose, not for themselves, but for history. A council was formed, 6 names, 1 decision. And the question that now hung over Medina was heavier than any blade. Who would lead when justice itself lay wounded? Umar ibn al-Khattab, may God be pleased with him, was gone, not taken by ambition, but by duty. And with his passing, the Ummah stood before a question it had never faced before. There was no throne to inherit, no crown to claim, no family line to follow. Only responsibility. 6 men remained, bound not by blood, but by faith and trust. And in a world where power is usually seized, they did something unheard of. They hesitated, because choosing a leader can unite a people or quietly divide them forever. Before power could be claimed, it had to be contained. Umar ibn al-Khattab left the Ummah not with a crown, but with a trust. He named 6 men, each tested by faith. The messenger of God, peace be upon him, testified for them and gave them glad tidings of paradise. Ali ibn Abu Talib, Uthman ibn Affan, al-Raḥmān ibn ʿAwf, Sa'd ibn Abu Waqqas, al-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam, Talha ibn Ubaydullah. They were not gathered to compete. They were gathered to restrain power from tearing the Ummah apart. No throne awaited them, no crown, no promise of certainty. Only a room and a responsibility that history would never forget. This was the Shura, not a race for rule, but a trial of conscience. The Shura did not begin with arguments. It began with restraint. Each man knew the weight of the decision, and each feared carrying it alone. Ali ibn Abi Talib spoke with clarity, his words firm, his conscience heavier still. Uthman ibn Affan remained silent longer than the others, not from uncertainty, but from humility. al-Raḥmān ibn ʿAwf listened more than he spoke, measuring the Ummah before measuring himself. Sa'd ibn Abu Waqqas withdrew from contention, choosing unity over position. Az-Zubayr ibn al-Awwam stepped back, placing trust above claim. And Talha ibn Ubaydullah, though absent at first, sent his consent, placing the Ummah before his own presence. No one campaigned, no one demanded allegiance. Because in that room, power was not a prize. It was a burden. As the Shura hesitated, one man stepped forward, not to claim leadership, but to carry its weight. al-Raḥmān ibn ʿAwf withdrew his own name from consideration, not out of fear, but out of trust. He chose to stand between the Ummah and division, to listen where others spoke, to bear the burden so others would not. Day and night he consulted the people of Medina, the elders, the commanders, the traders, the families. He asked no one who they preferred, only whom they trusted to rule by the book of Allah and the way of his messenger, peace be upon him. And slowly, a consensus began to form. When the voices were gathered and the hearts consulted, the Ummah did not divide, it aligned. al-Raḥmān ibn ʿAwf returned to the Shura, not with authority, but with trust. He asked one question, spoken quietly, heard by all. Will you rule by the book of God, the Sunnah of his messenger, peace be upon him, in the way of the two before you." Uthman ibn Affan did not rush his answer. Then he accepted, not as a victor, but as a servant of Allah. Hands reached out, not in celebration, but in responsibility. And so, without banners or drums, Uthman ibn Affan became the third caliph and a leader of the believers. Every leader leaves a shadow. Umar ibn al-Khattab ruled with firmness. His presence felt even in silence. Uthman ibn Affan was different. Gentle where others were severe, soft-spoken where voices once commanded. He did not change the law, but he changed the tone. Doors once guarded were now open. Voices once measured now spoke freely. Some felt relief, others felt uncertainty, and history once again leaned forward to watch. Leadership had passed peacefully. The Ummah stood united, for now. But time does not test power in moments of strength. It tests it in moments of mercy. As doors opened, voices grew louder. As authority softened, expectations grew heavier. And beneath Medina's calm surface, questions began to stir. Could gentleness hold an empire together? Or would unity demand a strength yet unseen?